Off the crossbar! Goal! And they're trying to deflect off the goal team! Switch to left field, it's down for a base hit.
Hunterdon Central is going to win the state finals here tonight.
Mark it on the board. Touchdown, Red Devils. On the deflection. On the deflection. Hunterdon Central.
And we are live from Stewart Field in Flemington, New Jersey. Hunterdon Central and Watchung Hills getting ready to take part in their season opener in girls soccer. Should be a good one here today. We're excited for this one. Alongside Bryce Cohen, I'm Jimmy Sullivan. Happy you could be along with us here on HCTV. Bryce, opening of a new season. Hunterdon Central, storied program, lost just 2 games a season ago. They've got a new head coach. Karan Short replaces Janine Calhoun. She left to go coach at Ursinus College. And Bryce is a team with a new head coach, but still high expectations coming into this season.
First off, Jimmy, thank you for being here today. It's an absolute pleasure.
Good talking to you.
It's our first time connecting the booth today, and hopefully not the last. Now, for a team as talented as Hunterdon Central today, high expectations coming into the season. I think the main 3 players to watch out for this season that can really carry an experience, not to say inexperienced, but a first-year head coach into a successful season with such a storied program as Hunterdon Central. You got Lexi Dendis, Natalie Brennan, and Reagan Schubach as the difference makers this season. My bold prediction at the beginning of the season, and hopefully at the end of the year I'm right. But these are the players that, over the past 3 years at Central, obviously Reagan Schubach starting as a freshman, have just made the biggest difference on this team. They can continue to do this for this Hunterdon Central squad, and this year, no different, same mentality, coming off of a hard-stinging loss to Westfield in the Section 2 Group 4 semifinals. It's very disappointing end to the season, but here is Hunterdon Central's home opener, season opener. Let's get into it.
Central in black, Watchung Hills in white, and this is the day where the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of the offseason, both of these teams hope will turn into reality. Watchung Hills 16-3-2 last year, but Bryce, as you said with Hunterdon Central, a bitter loss for them in the state tournament quarterfinal to Scotch Plains. That was an upset last season. They look to avenge that, have a great regular season, and it starts here today. Early free kick goes to Central, and this one will be cleared away by Alexa Cristo. And Central have it back. A beautiful day here at Stewart Field. Temperatures in the upper 70s, maybe the low 80s. But a perfect day for our girls soccer opener. Sydney Artach was dispossessed by Jenna Tobia, the leading scorer for Watchung Hills a season ago, the Clemson commit. 13 goals, 11 assists last season. And she has earned her team a throw.
And she's poised for a good senior season coming up. And, Watchung Hills has been one of the teams that have troubled Hunterdon Central over the last couple of years. And they've gone back and forth in this rivalry. And today's no different. They are 2 very top-heavy lineups who can get some really good swings going.
And here is Tobia trying to poke through the defense. Has it out wide, Ava Prisco. That one is too far, and it'll be a goal kick. Reagan Schubach, as you said, Bryce, one of the historic players in the history of the Hunterdon Central program. 38 goals, 11 assists last year. She's up to 70 career goals now. That is the all-time lead in Hunterdon Central high school history. She's back for one more year, committed to South Carolina to play her college soccer next year. There's a high floating ball, and that'll be a throw for the Warriors of Watchung Hills.
Yeah, and like you said, fortunately for Schubach, too, she gets to join the Zulo sisters who she played with here her freshman and sophomore year, and just such a pleasure for her, and I'm sure she's going to be very happy down south as she continues her dominant career here at Hunterdon Central and looks to finish off strong with the senior season.
This, as we said, the opening day of the girls' soccer season across New Jersey. This is the first game between these two teams. Last year, Watchung Hills won the game. It was the only regular season loss for Hunterdon Central, but Reagan Schubach did not play in that game. So these two teams match up very well. We're excited for this one today.
Yeah, and with Watchung Hills graduating a lot of seniors as well, could be a bit of a younger team for Watchung Hills, so it's really anyone's guess as to what's going to happen today here with, no games being played prior to this one. You could definitely tell there's a bit of nerves here. A lot of things are going to have to shake off, maybe a bit of rust, but as we have a little bit more action here south of the field.
That's a good ball for Tobia. Tried to make the play out wide, crossed into the box, and nobody on the end of it.
Yeah, Tobia really tried to bring that one all the way down herself, but she couldn't quite connect with anybody for an assist there, as it's looking like it's going to be a Hunterdon Central ball.
Isla Krowicki is in net for Central. There was some doubt before the game. She picked up a little bit of an injury in the lead up to this match, but she does get the start. She is expected to be pretty much the full-time goalkeeper this year. And she gets the start today. This one back to Watchung Hills. It was Oliveira. Up along the far side, trying to keep it in. They do, and that one cleared away before it can be a corner. Hunterdon Central just not able to get possession early on in this game. Watchung Hills has pretty much dominated the early run of play, although Reagan Schubach will try to run down this one.
And it's Dendis.
Cannot do so.
Dendis, too, trying to make a difference here. As Central, over the course of the last couple of years, has just been so dominant with holding the ball. So this is something that they got to work on.
That's a good throw. Dendis goes down. No penalty given. And Watchung Hills can send it away and try to beat Hunterdon Central on the counterattack. That's a good ball forward. Maybe an early opportunity here for the Warriors. Krowicki is out, and the ball is in. The opening goal of the season, and it's scored by the Warriors on enemy territory.
Yeah, Krowicki kind of gave into that ball a little too early and passed her. I mean, it was just her in the net, so nice job there by Watchung Hills to score on early and come out here today to Stewart Field and make a point to start the game. But Hunterdon Central has to really up it up now. Going down 1-0 early, and Hunterdon Central is a team that does not like to score a lot of goals.
They're down in the off. They gave up just 19 goals a season ago in 20 games, but they have given up the first one here today. Cindy Artach. Along to McKenna, now played forward in the direction of Schubach. Watchung Hills tries to go away again. So Sarah Erb, Emily Dendis. That one played up by Casey McKenna. Couple anxious touches there. It's a turnover. And now Jenna Tobia is away for Watchung Hills. She fires, and it's the second goal! The Clemson commit puts Watchung Hills up 2-0.
And you can imagine how Tobia feels coming out here senior season, come make a point, and she does just that. 2 goals, all within the span of a couple of minutes. And boy, Hunterdon Central looked like they're fumbling the ball there. Looks like they're having a bit of a communication mismatch, which is something that they really need to communicate and work together on as team chemistry. And that's something they've always been so happy and poised to have, that they haven't looked to have to start this match here, but they'll try to reconnect here as it's been a shocking start here at the beginning of the match.
2 goals inside of the first 6 minutes for the visiting Warriors. Brian Figueiredo's team out in a blink, and they might be on for more here. Tobia tries to play through. What a ball that is, but a little bit too far for Julia Oliveira.
Tobia seems to be outrunning the whole team right now, and she seems to want it more, and that's the whole thing the Hunterdon Central's got to get on board with, is if you want it, you have to go take it now. And that's been something they've had, mentality-wise, the whole entire storied run of theirs is no excuses. You need to make no excuses now and just start working harder.
Karan Short's first game, and now his team tries to have a chance. Running away here, it's Schubach. It's 2-1. An action-packed opening to the girls' soccer season. Reagan Schubach has her first of the year, and Hunterdon Central has cut it in half.
Yeah, and Schubach wasted no time to just respond there, and that's what she's been so dominant at, is those 1v1 plays there. When it's just her and the goalie, she rarely misses those, and when she does, she knows she's going to get it the next time. So that's a great way to respond there, and just cuts the deficit to now 1 for Hunterdon Central.
Jenna Tobia trying to get that one right back. She's past the defense. She's into the box. That one long. It can be played down one of her teammates. And this one's sent forward. This has been some frantic defending from Hunterdon Central. Forced by the attack of Watchung Hills, and there's another one, but that is a foul on Oliveira, who scored the opening goal. Well, Bryce, I don't think you could have started with much more action here in the first 7.5 minutes of this one. We hope for a good game. We've gotten it, and it has been action-packed from the jump.
For two teams with the history that they have between each other, this is just adding on to their already really nice rivalry. So I'm enjoying myself so far. 2-1, Watchung Hills lead. Hunterdon Central now looking to tack on another one here to just tie things up, while Watchung Hills looks to add some insurance.
Game has been wide open. Last year when these two teams played, it was a 4-3 win for Watchung Hills, and this game following a similar trajectory.
And I would not be surprised if it's another 1-2 goal win for one of these teams here. It's just such a nice, tight-knit match.
Both of these teams picked to finish in the state discussion, both in the top 10 according to NJ.com. Hunterdon Central ranked number 4, Watchung Hills ranked number 8. With the amount of goals and scoring chances we've seen so far today, you can understand why.
Both just two very dominant offensive teams that like to play really hard defense as well.
There were shouts for a foul, but none given. Hunterdon Central players a little bit frustrated. Now Watchung Hills tries to go away, but that one cleared away by Sarah Erb. This one poked into the air. Alessia Flood. Lila Parente. Now Parente's got it back. She's knocked over on the sideline.
Parente had
a free kick.
Parente had a really nice freshman campaign, as she looks to continue that on with her sophomore year, and she's getting good action, good play time here.
McKenna, the two number 10s going at it. Jenna Tobia with a goal today. Reagan Schubach with a goal. Julia Oliveira has scored. And now Lexi Dendis tries to get away, but can only do so for so long.
Dennis is just one of those skill position players where anywhere you put her, anywhere you try to draw up with her, she's going to try to make a play. As Schubach here.
So be run down and play by Parente. She is dispossessed, and that is some very, very good defending by Watchung Hills. And now they try to get away on the counterattack. Bella Valenti got it in the corner. This is Tobia. Plays it forward for Ferreira. Clintock tries to spin away from Dendis. One looked to deflect off Paige Thomas for Watchung Hills, who maintain possession as Ava Prisco played it forward. Now it's Oliveira. In the box, Thomas didn't get much on that cross. Tobia tries to play a wide pass McKenna. Tobia did not get position on that cross, and it's a goal kick. Well, if you thought both of these teams would maybe come out a little cautious or slow out of the box, you were wrong. 2-1 our score. Watchung Hills leading Hunterdon Central. Oliveira weaving through 2 and 3 in that one. Into the grateful arms of Krawicki.
Yeah, it seems to have eased down a little bit up from that anxious kind of bit of action to start off that led us to the 3 goals between the two teams. And now both these teams are looking just to strike back.
Parente had it knocked away, and that's a foul. And there will be no further action against Oliveira. Ava Prisco. Sent that one too far out wide for Paige Thomas. It'll be a central throw. I told you they went 17-2-1 last season, knocked out by Westfield in the semis of the state tournament. Watchung Hills 16-3-2. They lost in the Somerset County final. Oliveira fighting for it with Parente. It's a battle Oliveira wins. It can be played forward for Valenti. Now it's Oliveira again. And that pass left wanting a little more. And now Central tries to get on the break. That one played forward and no runners in the box. So the goalkeeper Isabella Di Giovanni, the Iona commit, is able to pick it up. Oliveira's pass errant, that leads to a central throw. Reagan Schubach scored the only goal for Central. Oliveira and Tobia the scorers for the Warriors.
Yeah, and a little under 15 minutes of play here so far, and both teams are starting to show what they've been the last couple of years. They're showing flashes of what these last seasons have been, and it's been a back and forth affair so far, but a lack of scoring over the last 5 or so minutes.
And Bryce, you have to wonder too about the nerves going into a game like this, opening game of a season, and how that might affect some of the defending. And certainly we saw that on a couple of the goals, and now these teams starting to settle into the game and the flow of it.
Yeah, and Hunterdon Central knows this is no walk in the park. I mean, this is one of 2 teams they lost to last season, and the roster and the starting lineup didn't change far too much, so they know that this is a pretty similar lineup to last year, so they know what's at stake here, and this is kind of how you set the tone for the season. So they know that if they win here today, it could only be up for the rest of the season, and if not, I mean, it's something that could really be detrimental to a squad like this, especially with the first-year head coach.
Both teams preparing subs. Jenna Tobia preparing to take on the whole defense by herself. She's passed 1, now 2, now shoots it across, and that one cleared off the line. Jenna Tobia has had her mark all over this game. Paige Thomas's shot, well high. Watchung Hills 8 all-conference players for them last season, several of whom are not back. They try to replace those. Jenna Tobia, 3rd-team all-group last season for her efforts. Here they go again. This is Paige Thomas, and she slipped at the critical moment.
Yeah, Hunterdon Central got pretty fortunate on that play there as she got tied up in her own feet. Now it's going to be a Hunterdon Central possession once again here.
Yeah, I think that was eventually called for offside on Thomas. But again, Watchung Hills continuing to generate opportunities as they get a throw in off the deflection off Lauren Vanilla. Casey McKenna, one of the critical midfielders for this Hunterdon Central team. Along with Sorrentino, Abby Gavond, trying to fortify that midfield. All players returning from last year. Sarah Erb. Natalie Brennan. Several seniors on this team. Reagan Schubach, obviously, chief among them. But then you got Sorrentino, Casey McKenna, Natalie Brennan. Good mix of youth and experience on this squad. But they're in a hole right now. Prisco. That one sorted out, if only for the moment. Now falls to Oliveira. Tobia. Jenna Tobia. Tried to send that one into the box, but nobody there, either on the first effort or the deflection. Now Watchung Hills have won it back yet again. That was Emma Clintock winning possession. Ava Prisco tried to get through two defenders and could not. Parente sent it forward. That one headed away, and Vanilla just couldn't run it down. Headed away by Ava Tomaso for a central throw.
And I like what you said there is, Hunterdon Central is a great mix of youth and experience, and that's what's helped this team be so dominant over so many years is that they've had freshmen, in my freshman year and these girls' freshman year, Reagan Schubach and Emily Dendis both got a good amount of playing time their freshman year, which gave them the leadership as they got older and moved on to help their youth, which is going to set up the next couple of years of this Hunterdon Central team as well.
There have been so many great players through this program. You referenced the Vulo sisters, Emily Mason, who was recently on the U20 national team for the U.S., graduated a year ago.
And forever cemented her legacy with the Gatorade Women's Soccer Player of the Year award, which is just so incredible.
They have built this program over several years, and now they try to maintain it. Janine Calhoun no longer here, so it falls to Karan Short to keep the legacy going. Ball forward, looking for Tobia, and she is away. Jenna Tobia looking for her second of the day, and she's not going to get there against Sarah Erb, but she does win her team a corner.
And that was just amazing hustle there by Erb, as Tobia is just so dominant when she's gone down the stretch, and that's one of those plays there where you'd see her on a Sports Center kind of top 10 moment, but Erb did not want that to happen, nor for Watchung Hills to score again here, but another opportunity here for Watchung Hills to get on the board.
That one crossed in, there's nobody there, but I don't think the referee whistled in the play, so we'll do it again. As we're at the halfway point of this first half, 2-1 our score. Watchung Hills over Hunterdon Central. Tobia's cross. It's knocked around and it's cleared, and there was a handball in the box on Watchung Hills. So crisis averted for the moment for the Red Devils.
And Krowicki has been under a lot of pressure this first period so far, so thankfully that crisis averted like you said, but now it's time for Hunterdon Central to get out of enemy territory and start putting the ball into the goal.
And Jenna Tobia trying to get away once again. Pops it into the box. And some anxious defending, and that will be another corner. Megan Carmody ran forward. It's the second corner in the last couple of minutes for the Warriors.
I mean, once again, just more pressure on Krowicki here to deliver and just keep the score the same as it is, because any other goals for this Hunterdon Central team going against them would just be so detrimental. You do not want that to happen. And Schubach has gone kind of quiet over the last couple of minutes. The offense has not really been able to get any good opportunities, and Watchung Hills keeps getting these opportunities. Now it's time for them to capitalize on them.
Watchung Hills have had a plurality of the possession. And that corner should lead to a central throw. I think they were going for some kind of set piece there just outside the box and weren't able to connect.
Once again, nice defending by Hunterdon Central, but it's time to get the ball once again across the midfield and just start working on Watchung Hills goalie, who's, you know, committed, soon-to-be college athlete. She's got a lot on her plate, and
here comes Reagan Schubach. Crosses it into the box, looking for Dendis. It's deflected away. Will it be a throw for Central, a throw for Watchung Hills, or a corner?
When you watch
Looks like it should be a central throw.
When you watch that last play there too, is you're starting to see flashes of that Dendis-Schubach connection again, which we saw so much last season, and it's one of those, you know, duos you kind of have that run a team, and the whole team is kind of reliant on something like that, and we're seeing Dendis go to work here.
Dendis' cross, it took a deflection. It'll fall to Schubach. As Hunterdon Central goes again, Emily Dendis trying to work her way through. That's a throw for Central amid protests from the Warriors. If you hear us calling Dendis a little more often, there's Lexi Dendis and then there's Emily Dendis. Lexi wears number 3, Emily wears number 7. Can Central make anything of this? Doesn't appear so. It's cleared away by Shivani Howe.
Yeah, and that appeared to be nothing more than just an extended break for Ala Krowicki, who had been doing anything but just standing around for the last couple of minutes here, as she's been under fire, but Hunterdon Central continuing to fight here.
And as you said, on the other side, Isabella De Giovanni hasn't really been tested much other than that Schubach goal. She really hasn't had to do much in the game. Can Central make something happen here? Or can Watchung Hills counterattack? That one will be too far for Ava Prisco. Sarah Erb will play it out the back. That's Brennan. Back to Erb. It's a high press from Watchung Hills. They've been able to generate some turnovers early. Brennan, that's a good ball for Lexi Dendis. McKenna. And Caitlin Sorrentino. And now back to Natalie Brennan. We're in those bright cleats on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. Sorrentino is dispossessed. Oliveira with the critical touch. And now the Warriors are away as Erb gets her foot in there to get it back. And that's a handball.
Yeah, and Erb is having no part of that fast break for Watchung, as Watchung has been a bit slower on the offensive end. They've had the opportunities. They haven't been able to capitalize them, and this score has been the same now for over 15 minutes. And as we watch, I mean, both teams are getting the opportunities. It's more of a matter of who's going to capitalize on it first. For Hunterdon Central to tie it, and for Watchung Hills to tack on another one.
At the beginning of the game, you thought there'd be a flurry of goals. We saw that, and now the game has really settled down. Some good defending from Sorrentino. Hunterdon looking to switch the play. Lila Parente. Had it knocked away. This is Oliveira. Had it back briefly. Brennan knocked it away, and here comes Ava Prisco. Prisco plays it ahead. Multiple Central bodies there, and that's good defending to clear it away. Cross into the box, almost an opportunity, and it's knocked away at the last moment. And now Central looks to get away on the counterattack. There has been some frantic last-ditch defending in this game.
And with good reason as well.
Claudia Ferreira. 13 and a half minutes to play in this first half. Lexi Dendis tried to play it ahead, could not. Watchung Hills looking for a third. Central looking to get even. Natalie Brennan will run that one down and clear it away. And we'll have a pair of substitutions, one for each side. One cleared by Parente. Watchung Hills have just been able to really dominate possession for large stages of this first half. Valenti, here's Oliveira, through the middle, Oliveira! Saved by Krowicki.
And like we were saying about those early, season opener nerves, it looks like Krowicki has kind of settled in as well. As she let up 2 very, very early goals, but she's been pretty nice since. And I think you could say a lot about that for both teams. Is definitely things have started to settle down, but both teams are still playing very aggressive.
Lauren Fasinelli is in for Hunterdon Central. As they maybe try to get one back before halftime or maybe prevent one on the other side. Alexa Cristo crosses into the box. Golden opportunity, and Oliveira couldn't square it. Parente. We'll give and go with Schubach. And that one is forward for Fasinelli, and out of the box comes DiGiovanni to clear. Nina Dusa also into the game for Watchung Hills, who have it yet again. And they earn a throw. Oh, brilliant touch forward. And she's kept it in play. Into the box it goes, deflected away at the last moment. Another opportunity here, and it goes just over off the right foot of Bella Valenti.
Wow, just wow.
Oof.
Excellent opportunity there, and she just could not quite square it up off of the crossbar. And that is one of those shots where you're kicking yourself later if you lose by 1, or even if it goes into extra time here. You would be very upset that you didn't let that one come to you a lot sooner. It's just one of those plays that could have added on a lot of insurance for you.
Bryce, I think they might hit both crossbars.
Just
the soccer and the football.
Still the result of no goal on the play, which is just something that you do not want to have happen here in your season opener.
Schubach earns a throw. 10 minutes to go in this first half, and it has been a wide open game. As Lexi Dendis tries to run this down in the corner, but cannot do so.
And this is a great opportunity here for Schubach, as she's looking to cook something up here.
And she has earned a corner. So that's what you were looking for, some of the opportunities for Central, and now a set piece as they try to draw level.
And this is something going into the half as well. If you can square things up and keep it tied, it's something that you can work towards and talk about what happened in the first half that led to it being tied and led to giving up 2 goals early. But the defenses seem to lock down a lot for Hunterdon Central, so adding any insurance here for Watchung would be just so crucial. However, Hunterdon Central trying to flip the script here.
We had 3 goals in the first 10 minutes. We have had none since. As it will be Dendis to take this corner. The Shenandoah commit. Emily Dendis. Beautiful dummy, and it's cleared off the line. Rebound is skied over. And Watchung Hills stay in front, improbably.
And that was just one of those opportunities that was just absolutely golden. And after the first shot missed, the second one was just skied for a field goal. However, wrong sport. We're not in the not here for Saturday's football game, but my goodness, Hunterdon Central just dropped another opportunity there. And Watchung Hills and Central have now traded a pair of opportunities that both just did not go the way they were looking for. And time is now ticking on this first half for any team to add another goal for themselves.
Caitlin Sorrentino had the chance, and Claudia Ferreira cleared that one away at the last possible moment. And they've given it away again. Nina Dusa, far side to Prisco. Warriors keep it alive. That was Tobia's header, and they just can't get it out. Paige Thomas's shot is wide.
And the defenses, just for both squads, are just looking so much tighter now. Definitely calmed down a bit, but they're working as a squad now rather than what it was earlier, and it was a lack of communication for both teams that led to 3 goals in the first 10 minutes here.
Brilliant touch by Paige Thomas. This one goes out the back, and it will be a goal kick. Thomas wanted a corner. Scored 9 goals a season ago and has created countless chances so far today. Prisco. Tobia. Played it out wide, and there was a little bit of a miscommunication between her and Thomas.
And Watchung Hills, once again, trying to threaten here, but Hunterdon Central just holding on to possession of the ball.
Or at least trying to anyways. This could be a developing opportunity for them. Flood. Dispossessed, trying to get it back, but could not do so. And Thomas goes again. She has been going since the start. Tobia. Forces it out wide. Shots deflected. Hunterdon Central doing a much better job getting the numbers back. Thomas is dispossessed. And that one deflected out of bounds by Sorrentino will be a Watchung Hills throw with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Ferreira lost it. Schubach. Tried to play it forward for Sorrentino. Sorrentino playing much more forward from her central midfield position. Now it's Fasanelli. She's double teamed, but she gets out of it. That was Flood. Here's Sorrentino. Flood again. Alessia Flood lost it, and here goes Watchung Hills. Do so with too heavy a touch. Schubach looking forward. Knocked over a defender. It's cleared out of bounds for a central throw.
Central just threatening here once again. Just, it's the same old story. Just trying to get one more on the board here to tie it up, but something a little different about this one, and Schubach is looking for more.
It'll be a long throw in and popped outside the box. Paige Thomas around a couple of defenders. Plays it towards the boundary, and she lost it briefly, but she's able to get it back. Alexa Christo. Looking for Dusa, and that's cleared away by Brennan. A doubleheader day here at Stewart Field. We've got girls soccer now. We have field hockey after this, later on into this evening. Long attempt, and that goes well wide by Nina Dusa.
And as the clock ticks down here, barring any sudden change, we could be going into the half with a 2-1 Watchung Hills lead. Given I've jinxed these games before, but this is something that Hunterdon Central is really going to need to look into during the half is that defense. They've really tightened it up since the beginning of the game here, but they have not been able to score since those first 10 minutes. Neither teams have, for that matter, and it's something that both teams are going to need to really look into here and dig deep to try to score in this season opener.
Here goes Schubach. Looking into the box, and it's no trouble for DiGiovanni. So if you're Karan Short and Hunterdon Central, how are you feeling overall about this first half as you head into the locker room if it stays at 2-1?
Well, given the opponent, I think you'd be very satisfied with how you made the adjustment and played much, much tighter defense. Now, I think the offensive opportunities have been there, and they haven't been able to capitalize that, and that's something that you need to really work on, at least look into during the half, because that has been stuff that in the past they've really been able to just tackle and tackle and tackle on goals. So you wonder, maybe is it the nerves, maybe it's the first-year coach, but either way, this is a really tough opponent, and they've definitely been hanging in there.
Oliveira trying to win that one. She does. Into the box and nobody home. Toby will run it down on the far side. But she can't get to it. Into the final minute of this first half. Fasanelli trying to send it forward. Couldn't find Reagan Schubach's foot. Paige Thomas. Had deflected away by Schubach, but Hunterdon Central unable to get possession. That is a foul and a free kick to Watchung Hills. Possibly in an opportune position, and possibly the last kick of the first half.
Just under 20 seconds here left in this first half, and not a foul you want to commit. You look at the clock, 19.8 sitting on the clock. Now, just not a foul you want to commit here with just so little time left as Watchung Hills gets another grand opportunity here.
It's Thomas's ball. It's a good one, but it's cleared away, at least for the moment. Central running up against it here if they want to attack. And they won't get a shot off, and that will be the end of the first half. And an action-packed first half it was. Exciting play here at Stewart Field. Watchung Hills out to a 2-0 lead. Reagan Schubach has gotten one back for the Red Devils, and that's where we stand at the half. The Warriors 2, the Red Devils 1 after 40 minutes here on HCTV. We are back for the second half between Watchung Hills and Hunterdon Central. A scintillating first 40 minutes here at Stewart Field. Watchung Hills with a 2-1 lead as we enter the final 40 minutes. He's Bryce, I'm Jimmy, and Bryce, an exciting first half. Those first 10 minutes, there were goals galore, and then it felt like both teams, especially defensively, really settled in the last few minutes of that half.
Well, you talk about the first 10 minutes of that match there. You had 3 goals, 2 to Watchung, and 1 for Hunterdon Central, and then the script completely flipped. The tables were turning. Just huge, what seemed like defensive adjustments to kind of calm nerves and kind of work together as a unit for both squads. And maybe it was that they weren't capitalizing on the offensive end, but the defenses seemed so much tighter, and that led to no scoring in the rest of the first half there as both teams are looking very, very hard to tack on goals here. For Hunterdon Central, it's just to tie things up, and for Watchung Hills, it's to add something that, can really close out a match here against a rival that they've gone back and forth with over the last couple of years here. So it's really up to both teams here to try to open up the offensive ends for themselves to win and capitalize on the opportunities that they are given.
And folks, it's a high-level game, but both of these teams, 33 wins in the 41 games they played last season. Both favorites here in the state of New Jersey. Both contenders for county, group, state championships as they try to get their seasons off on the right track here. Just catching you up on the goal scorers. It was Oliveira and Tobia in the first half for the Warriors. And it was Reagan Schubach picking up off her 38-goal campaign last fall, with the only goal for Hunterdon Central in that first half. Again, the Warriors in white, the Red Devils in black. 40 minutes for one of these teams to get a win, or perhaps more. Perhaps we'll need extra time. The season could not have started in much more exciting fashion in that first half. The Warriors go again. Lexi Dendis with a long run. Her pass is going to be intercepted. And Watchung Hills tries to get away. Jenna Tobia made so much happen in that first half, but can't do it there. Bella Valenti's pass deflected out of bounds, and it's a Watchung Hills throw. Tobia, handball. Took an errant touch off her right leg. Tobia, the Clemson commit. 13 goals, 11 assists last season. And she's off the mark early on in this year with a goal in the first half.
And she's someone that could be a difference maker late in this game, as she was making so many good breaks on this Hunterdon Central defense as of late in the first half. Just couldn't score any of them.
Dendis plays a decent ball forward. Fasanelli tries to run it down, and that will be a central throw. Fans in the crowd exhorting the Red Devils on. This will fall kindly, and it bounces in!
Can you believe it?
Two each! What a strike from Caitlin Sorrentino! We're back on level terms at Stewart Field.
And the deflection there was really the saving grace of that shot, as it just got one of the most lucky deflections you'll see all season long, and it's just the season opener. And that one to tie it up as well.
And so Central has answered back from 2-0 down. They have scored the last two. Sorrentino, with a little help from the deflection, levels it up. But the ever-present threat of Jenna Tobia tries to put her team back in front. Her cross knocked down. Fasanelli tries to clear. Can't do so. Ava Prisco through a couple of defenders. Still got it. Deflects out to Emma Clintock. And that one out to safety by Emily Dendis. Boy, I don't think you could have asked for much better of a start to a season with these two teams going at it. A much hyped game early on in the year. So far, it has more than delivered.
Yeah, for Hunterdon Central to come out swinging, it really sets the tone for this second half, as they have the momentum here. They have scored the last two, and for Hunterdon Central, when they get going, it's difficult for teams to stop them and for them to not continue to tack on goals and goals, and that would be very, very fortunate for them to start out, like I keep saying, against an opponent, a team as good as Watchung Hills, and being the season opener with a first-year coach. It would be very, very huge for a team like this to set the tone like that for the rest of the season. In a season where last year they only had 2 losses, and this being one of them, it would be very, very good for a team like this.
These two played a 4-3 game last year. Tobia has it blocked. Katie McKenna with some critical last-ditch defending. Check that. I think it was actually Sarah Erb. Lexi Dendis in position. Cleared away by Sorrentino. She sends one of her teammates to chase. And Lexi Dendis wins her team a throw.
And just a very smart play there by Dendis. For, like you said, with the last-ditch opportunities that these teams have had, it was a very, very smart play there to win Hunterdon Central throw for her sister, Emily.
Bryce, I think you could see just the resilience of this Hunterdon Central team and how you build a program like this. And sometimes you have to come back from deficits, and they've certainly done that today. They were down 2-0, now it's 2-2, and they're in a position where they could just as easily win this game.
And it takes a deficit like this to build team chemistry, to build character for a squad like this. And this is a team that has worked so hard, with the younger players as well. They are just starting to get adjusted to the climate and what it's like to be a Lady Red Devil soccer player here, and now they're really fitting in with the culture here, and now tying it up 2-2. It's what they can do with the next 35 minutes.
Karan Short carrying on that culture, the first-year head coach. He takes over for Janine Calhoun. And for him and his tenure, probably could not have started a lot worse, but the response could not have been any better from his team. He'll, regardless of the outcome of this game, be thrilled with how his team bounced back after getting knocked down 2-0 early on. Fasanelli. Emily Dendis plays a beautiful ball looking for her sister, and that'll curl out of bounds.
And a bit of an opportunity here for Watchung Hills, but Hunterdon Central has been trying the hardest to attack here. So we can see what Watchung Hills is made of now.
They turn it over again. Hunterdon Central, to your point, Bryce, has had most of the possession here in this second half. And from that, they've been able to create some chances, and they got that Sorrentino equalizer early on in the second half.
And Sorrentino try not to slow down here.
Lexi Dendis. Sorrentino. Knocked it out of bounds. Emily Dendis for her sister Lexi. And the ball forward in the direction of Schubach. It's Lexi Dendis again, but she's dispossessed by Paige Thomas. And fouled.
And Watchung Hills trying to up the tempo here. Trying to come up with some sort of response to the late Hunterdon Central goal.
Ava Prisco had it and lost it. It's out of bounds. It's a Watchung Hills throw. They've got it back. It's Prisco. It's Tobia. And it's deflected away by McKenna. Strong tackle from the senior defense. Schubach. Trying to play it forward. It's a quality ball, but will they be able to get forward? No. Sarah Erb tried to play it, and it wound up deflecting out of bounds off her. On a resplendent afternoon in Flemington, two of New Jersey's best do battle. Who will win? Will the points be shared? It is an electrifying start to the girls' soccer season. Hunterdon Central after this, they've got Pingery on Saturday morning. That's a 10 a.m. start. Then they've got 3 on the road at Blair, at Hillsborough, and at Randolph.
And you could argue that Hunterdon Central starts off the season with 2 of its most difficult obstacles going into the year. But I think for Hunterdon Central, that kind of helps them out, because if they could see how their opponents are doing at the beginning of the season and see how they matchup against them. It just gives them loads and loads of time to improve before things start to get real serious later in the season.
Natalie Brennan cleared that one away. There will be a central throw. Now you see the tempo on the sideline. Go, go, go. As the Red Devils try to chase the third goal and complete this comeback. It'll be a long throw in. That one popped up and could fall for Emily Dendis. Cross into the box, deflected away. Lexi Dendis had it for a moment. She gets it back again. Here's an opportunity, and it's stopped easily by Di Giovanni off the foot of Reagan Schubach.
Yeah, at Hunterdon Central defensively, over the last 40 minutes of play has just been locked down, not letting anything go through. And despite the loads of opportunities that Watchung Hills have had, it's been nothing but zeros across the board for the last 40 minutes, despite the early 2 goals by Watchung Hills. And you could say perhaps it was the nerves calming down, but I just think Hunterdon Central decided to play better.
And they certainly have since that initial 5 or 6 minute spell in this game. So we close in on a half hour to play. Brennan. Lila Parente. Check that, Sarah Erb. Erb has it back, can't play it ahead. Abby Gavand. Emily Dendis. Sorrentino. Gavand is dispossessed. Sorrentino fighting for it. And away goes Watchung Hills. Good play from Emma Clintock, but wasn't able to complete the pass. Lulu Krowicki. Now she loses it. And here comes Oliveira. And here goes Watchung Hills. Thomas into the box. Tobia! 3-2! And just after Central answers, Jenna Tobia gets the lead back for the Warriors.
And Tobia could not have squared that up much better. She had the ball in the box, staring Krowicki in the eyes, and just knocked that one right to the right of Krowicki. And boy, oh boy, I'm going to have to walk back on my statements earlier. Hunterdon Central just had their defense torn up there. And Watchung Hills is making a statement in the second half after the late Sorrentino goal. And my goodness, this is one of those matchups where you look back at later in the season, and when both those teams have, really, really good records where there's only 1 or 2 perhaps losses, you look back and say, boy, oh boy, do we take this game for granted.
Last year it was 4-3 Watchung Hills. This year it's 3-2, and how many more goals will we have today? For Jenna Tobia, it's her second. And last year she scored the game winner with 8 minutes left in this game. Something tells me that much more to come here in this one. And Tobia's got it back on her foot again. And she plays it wide for Ava Prisco. Looks it ahead for Paige Thomas. Just couldn't get the footwork right. Abby Gavand plays it ahead. That's a really good ball for Lexi Dendis. Dendis ahead, didn't have the numbers in support. Oliveira tried to dummy, but Hunterdon Central has it back. Krowicki. Ahead, Dendis trying to get free, cannot do so. And it's cleared away by Claudia Ferreira, who has one of the important plays in this game. Cleared a possible goal from Sorrentino off the line late in that first half. One played forward for Prisco, but easily enough defended by the Red Devils. Gavand. Brennan. Played a little wide. That turns into a turnover. Paige Thomas. Thomas knifing through 3 defenders. What a run. She's going to give it a go, and that one is well wide to the right.
And she appears to be hurt on the kick.
Not sure if she pulled up before the kick or how exactly that injury happened, quite honestly. She's grabbing at her lower body, not sure if it's an injury, a cramp. Whatever the situation may be, that is not a loss that the Warriors would want to have. Thomas, 9 goals, 5 assists last year, 14 involvements. She has been all over the pitch today.
Yeah, and with it being the opener as well, you would hope it's just a bit of fatigue from not playing for, quite the time, perhaps only scrimmaging a couple of times or doing club matches, but that's something you never want to look out for on especially a hot day like this. You're sweating a lot, you're out on the turf where it's, maybe 5-10 degrees hotter on the turf there. It's just definitely a loss you don't want for Watchung Hills here as you're trying to maintain this 3-2 lead.
So Alexa Christo comes on in her stead, and they'll work on Paige Thomas and try to sort out whatever the situation is there. You certainly hope that she's okay.
Yeah, it's such a good offensive threat for Watchung Hills. You would just hate to see her go down in the season opener like this.
This one's sent away for Schubach to chase, and that'll get her team a throw. Played in the box, Dendis. Schubach who took the initial throw, and that's a corner.
Once again, positive momentum here for Hunterdon Central. And Schubach is looking to put the team on her back here again and try to score her second goal of the day.
They will send numbers into the box to try to get the equalizer. They have leveled this game once today, but Jenna Tobia's goal a few minutes ago put Watchung Hills back on top. Abby Gavand will take the corner. Popped into the box, dangerous ball. Watchung Hills trying to clear. Sorrentino had it blocked, and now it is whisked away to safety. Emily Dendis, too heavy a touch, and now Watchung Hills is away on the counterattack. Prisco. Tobia. That's Oliveira with a brilliant touch. She's double teamed, and was she fouled? Apparently not.
Yeah, those are the type of calls that...
Well, apparently now it is a free kick.
Yep, so those are the type of calls that definitely make the difference in a game like this. Is a no call, could have halted an opportunity for Watchung Hills, but this is a prime opportunity for Watchung Hills to go up by another one, which would be detrimental to Hunterdon Central.
Red Devils set up their wall. This is a dangerous position with a talented free kick taker and several in the box. And the wall of 4 becomes a wall of 2. And Oliveira launches it in. It's a long ball, and it's a little too deep ultimately. But it will turn into a clearance.
And Hunterdon Central played that one nicely here, but Watchung Hills is still going to try to capitalize on that opportunity.
Prisco goes for the volley. Took a deflection on the way out, but it's stopped easily by Krawicki. Can Central find the equalizer? Can Watchung Hills fall upon some insurance? That's a corner. Alexa Christo wins it for Watchung Hills.
And Hunterdon Central has not gotten any breaks here within the last couple of minutes. Constant pressure by Watchung Hills, especially after Thomas went down, which is surprising because you'd expect Watchung Hills to lose a bit of momentum there, but Hunterdon Central has just been quite literally pushed into the corner. No pun intended here as the corner kick.
It's a low one, it's dangerous, and it's headed around and into the arms of Krawicki. Well, they have had some nice set pieces today. Warriors of Watchung Hills. Sorrentino does well to keep it in. But then it's knocked out of bounds for a Watchung Hills throw. That's touched by Lulu Krowicki. Central tried to get away on the counterattack. Krowicki hit the deck. And now Central can be away. Schubach. Just a little too far ahead of Krowicki. Gavon chasing down Prisco. She too has been everywhere today. Alexa Christo. Outside the box, it's deflected around. It'll be cleared off the line, gratefully by Natalie Brennan.
And Brennan was the saving grace there, as that could have been very dangerous for Hunterdon Central.
Claudia Ferreira. Oliveira. Emily Dendis with an errant clearance. This is Prisco. Her cross. And some fancy touches, and then it's finally cleared away. Sarah Erb kept trying to get that one onto her right foot. And almost gave away another opportunity. Emily Dendis heads it away. Here comes Lexi Dendis. Natalie Brennan, Lulu Krowicki. Played ahead for Lexi Dendis. It'll fall for Emily Dendis. She gets away from Prisco. It's deflected away. That's a Watchung Hills throw. Nope. Goes back to Central. That's Ferreira. Tried to take it quickly, defying the referee.
Yeah, and Emily Dendis was rightfully confused and pointed it out, and luckily Hunterdon Central was able to get that.
Sorrentino tries to chase this one down. It falls to Lulu Krowicki. Now Sorrentino tries to get it back. Krowicki again. Another clearance. Schubach with a solid touch and a good ball for Lexi Dendis. Tries to keep it alive, and she's able to get a corner.
Yeah, just a very smart play there by Schubach to set up Dendis the way she did. And Dendis able to secure the corner. I mean, this is just another good opportunity for Hunterdon Central.
Dendis on the second cross. But that's well defended by Watchung Hills.
Yeah, trying to play the short game there, and Hunterdon Central can't quite come up with it, but Watchung Hills once again trying to threaten.
And Central sending more bodies up the pitch, and that is an error from Sarah Erb. 20 minutes to go. 3-2 Watchung Hills. An outstanding beginning to our girls' soccer season here on HCTV.
You know, the way you look at it, Jimmy, too, is, I mean, the first half we had 3 goals early in the first 10 minutes of action, and then it kind of simmered down and it was a lot more defensive based. And then you look at the second half here, and the first couple of minutes here we had back to back goals there by Hunterdon Central and Watchung Hills, and now it's kind of simmered down once again and been a lot more defensive heavy.
This is an incredible run. Jenna Tobia! Unbelievable.
Can you believe that? Oh my
Hat
goodness.
trick. And the Warriors senior star strikes again. What a game, what a player, what a goal. It's 4-2.
And for a Hunterdon Central team like this, quite shocking. You've let up 4 goals, but just a repeat of what happened last year, and now they're in a bit of a hole here with just 20 minutes left to play. And that breaks a long-standing defensive hole between the two teams, and she did that.
Well, Bryce, we talked about the Hunterdon Central defense maybe struggling a bit at times. I don't know if there's any defense for what just happened there. That was an incredible individual run and effort, and that gives the Warriors comfort.
Very hard to respond to speed and dominance like that.
For Jenna Tobia, she's already almost a quarter of the way to her goal count from last season. She'll be playing Division I soccer next year, and you can see why.
Do you know what time?
Emily Dendis will throw it in for Central. They're going to come back. They need one soon. But first they'll make a substitution. Sydney Artache will come in for Casey McKenna. Natalie Brennan. And here comes Oliveira. Just impeccable effort. And she gets it back. Oliveira will give it a go, and that one knuckles wide. Well, if this were to hold, Watchung Hills will get a huge win over Hunterdon Central. They won this game last year, but remember, there was no Reagan Schubach for that game. She's out there today. Both these teams pretty much at full strength. And Watchung Hills with a sterling performance from Jenna Tobia, a hat trick from her, 1 in the first half, 2 in the second half, are 17 minutes away from winning the first game of the season. That one given away by Parente. Paige Thomas is back out there, and her left-footed strike is errant. Nevertheless, good to see Thomas back out there after she pulled up with some kind of injury or cramp or whatever it was. That was a concerning moment for the Warriors in this game. That's a heavy challenge, and the advantage will be played. And this is Nina Dusa looking for one of her own. And that one is forced behind for a corner. And Hunterdon Central really being stretched now. Janatobia, for the moment, appears to be on the bench. I beg your pardon, she actually took that corner. Valente with a long strike, and that one not enough to threaten the goalkeeper, Isla Krawicki.
Glad to see you got it all together. Thanks for sticking around. So, typically, I'm going to try to make and email me if you're interested with announcements. I'm good with that. As long as you feel
Lexi Dendis tries to run this one down. Cannot do so, and now Nina Dusa tries to wriggle her way through the central defense. Lulu Krawicki forges one ahead to Ferguson. Her first appearance of the game. And this is Schubach. The leading goal scorer of all time in Central history. Sets up Lila Parente. And that ball was slightly errant for Lexi Dendis. And Watchung Hills are away, and Paige Thomas crosses it in. She's looking for Tobia, and she was inches close to a fourth. Tobia is just been incredible today. She's at times taken on the Red Devils all on her own. Of course, there's D1 talent all over this field. Not just for this year, possibly for next year as well, with some of the younger players. Wait to see how their recruitment process plays out. For Hunterdon Central, it is, if this holds, back to the drawing board. They had good moments in this game, just some little things here or there. Looks like it's going to do them in, unless they can come back here. Parente. Lulu Krawicki couldn't see that pass through. And that is absolutely incredible from Tobia. And she is away. Past Artache. And into the box. And that one deflected away, and Tobia, for the moment, is repressed. But the way this game has gone, it won't be for long. It's a central throw. And a double change.
City just very slowly move it up a little bit. A little bit tighter, a skosh tighter. That's good. How you doing, Kylie?
Hear the marching band kicking off in the background. Again, it's a doubleheader day here. We've got field hockey for you after this. That'll be shortly after the conclusion of this game. That certainly looked like a handball. But it'll be Watchung Hill's possession and a free kick. It's Lauren Fasinelli, the freshman. Now the game has changed for Watchung Hills. Now it's a matter of protecting that 2-goal advantage. Here they go again. And that one is skied over and wide from a rather tough angle by Nina Dusa. So if they are unable to come back, Hunterdon Central will drop the first game of this season. And last year they didn't get their first loss until October 20th. The opponent that day, Watchung Hills. It's a tough opponent to open the season with. And perhaps a good learning experience for the Red Devils as they go forward in their season. That one gets knocked away by Alessia Flood. Good crowd here on a late Thursday afternoon. Both schools represented well. It was an absolutely perfect day for soccer. That late summer feel, mild with low humidity. And here comes Tobia. Excuse me, that's Oliveira. That's a long ball and a good one for Thomas that she's able to run down towards the corner. Thomas with a decent cross, but it can't find anybody, and Krowicki covers it up. Fasinelli got up a little bit slowly, but she's away now. And that is a handball on Valenti. Brennan, that's a foul. That's a free kick drawn by Aubrey Ferguson. In a dangerous spot for Central. Absolutely needing a goal to stay in the match. And Natalie Brennan, for the moment, will stand over it. As the clock runs in the background. Down to 9 minutes to play. The wall sets up inside the 18-yard box. What will Brennan do with this? She'll send it high. For Watchung Hills, this is the first of 5 away games to start the season for them. They've got Cranford on Saturday morning, then at Ridge, at Bridgewater Raritan, and at Pingree before they host Hillsborough for their first home game on the 21st night of September. Crowd tries to push Central on in the final 7.5 minutes. It's gone about as well as you could hope for Watchung Hills. Tobia tried to play a back heel there. Lexi Dendis, Fasinelli sends it forward. That's a decent ball for Schubach, who tries to send it forward herself. And tries to play Flood in. And in the end, it's good defending from Megan Carmody. That'll be a free kick to Central. Casey McKenna went down, and Central get a free kick, but the clock's running. And it looks like we got a yellow card here. Try to identify who that's on. Sydney Artache will take the free kick. Looks like there's multiple players unmarked in the box. Artache takes it. Can't quite get it through. It's deflected off the line. Schubach will run it down in the corner. It's just been that sort of day for Central. One pass, one shot. Whatever the case may be, it's just eluded them. Not for lack of effort or skill. Brennan. And they're dispossessed. Watchung Hills tries to strike on the counterattack. Prisco's pass. Couldn't find her teammate Tobia. Fasinelli. Oliveira, who's been everywhere in this game. Paige Thomas looking for Tobia. And in the end, it falls to Krowicki. Well, let's see if Flood trying to maintain control. Couldn't do so, but she gets it back. Inside the final 5 minutes at Stewart Field. Flood. Another solid clearance from Watchung Hills. That was Carmody. Here goes Tobia. Well, it's now or never time for Central. And that's a good ball forward. And Schubach is tripped up. And no foul is called. Much to the fans' discontent. Prisco leaves it for Oliveira. She's already got one today. Oliveira, far side. She'll give it a go, and she puts it away for Watchung Hills. A clinical finish from the junior Oliveira, her second of the day, and the Warriors are flying to start the new season. couple of fine individual goals in this second half. One from Genitobia and one there from Julio Oliveira to put this game to bed. So Hunterdon Central will fall to 0-1 on the year. Watchung Hills will be 1-0. Again, both these teams sky-high expectations for the season. Karan Short, the new coach, will head back to practice and try to iron out some of the issues his team has had today and square that away for Saturday as they take on Pingree. Both of these really good teams. But Watchung Hills in the end, whether it be the one pass or the one finish, they were able to find it, and Central could not. Brennan sends it away. Or back for Schubach, a little bit of anxious defending from Shivani Howe, but she's able to clear it. If it's solace for Central, they were able to come back from that initial 2-0 deficit. Made it a 2-2 game early in the second half. So they'll be pleased with that as they try to move forward and look past this game. And here's Ava Prisco. Watchung Hills still looking for more. In the direction of Tobia, but that's cleared off the line. Lila Hopkins played forward. That's some good play from Central. Schubach. Two defenders on her, taken down. Advantage played. Now it's deflected away. No foul given. Schubach not happy at all. Fasanelli up the near side. She has it deflected away from her. It'll go out of bounds. And that will be a goal kick. It'll be a frustrating day for Central, but certainly plenty of positives to take out of it. And one loss does not a season make. McKenna. Parente had it cleared away. The Red Devils get one laid on. Inside the final minute. Lila Parente has it on her left foot. That one's deflected. That one knocked out of bounds. 45 seconds to play. It's a long throw into the box, and it'll be no trouble for DiGiovanni. Here comes Tobia again. Genitobia had it deflected out for a corner, and that's it. A resounding victory for Watchung Hills. They come to Flemington, and with 3 consecutive second half goals, defeat Hunterdon Central 5-2. Genitobia scored 3. Julia Oliveira scored 2. And a big win for the Warriors to open the season. Hunterdon Central in action next against Pingree on Saturday morning, a 10 a.m. start here at Stewart Field. That'll just about wrap it up here for our entire HCTV crew. My partner Bryce Cohen, I'm Jimmy Sullivan, saying so long from Flemington, and thanks for watching on HCTV.